Yeah, I just thought of something that I think is very important to share. Um, you see all these like people online and like especially, public figures or authority figures claiming that, whatever they're doing, it's hard work, that hard work is necessary and that the work is never ending or whatever. But that is the sign of someone who doesn't know what they're doing. Because when you begin a project, let's say, for example, when you start to work on a project, the goal is to eventually complete the project successfully. Like I don't even know how can I like make it so you'll understand. Like working to make dinner, right? The whole point is to eventually have a meal in front of you that you can enjoy peacefully and relax. And the only work after that is doing the dishes. But the whole point of like working to make dinner isn't to just continue like boiling water and chopping vegetables, never actually enjoying the work you do. And I feel that is what is wrong with the world today, that there are people out there that are just told that work, but there is no benefit, there is no payoff, there is no successful result for people. And that's really stupid. And so, with that in mind, you have to ask yourself, is the work you're doing really helping anything? Because that's the whole point of work, is to eventually achieve your goal. But if you're continuously working and doing the same stupid thing and not changing your approach, or how you work, if the work you do isn't giving you the results you want, then the work you're doing is failing. Then whatever you are doing unsuccessfully. And you need to change either your goal, the way you are working, or I don't know, some other thing. But the point is, you should not spend your entire life working. The work should be something that only takes a limited amount of time. The work you do should be something that takes as little as time as possible in order to achieve the most successful results. Otherwise, all you're doing is creating mess. That's all you're doing. You're not working towards anything. All you're doing is toiling and making a mess. So, yeah. That's from my smart German brain, which is the reason that I am able to be a strong, powerful person, because I am smart and I don't waste my time and I don't delude myself or lie to myself or try to fool myself into thinking that what I'm doing is anything more better than it is. because that is not good work. That is not smart work. That is just stupid mess making. It can't even be called work. It's just making messes and inconveniencing everyone around you and making yourself look like an idiot and an embarrassment. So, the end. So yeah, if you are not enjoying the fruits of your labor after putting all that hard work and effort into whatever it is you want to be doing, then maybe what you want to be doing isn't good or isn't worth the time. Maybe it's a waste of time, is the point that I'm trying to make. Especially when everything we already need to survive and enjoy life comes out of the motherfucking ground. You know, the only reason we pay for groceries and pay for water and pay for electricity is because the government and the billionaires and the CEOs and who have the police and the firefighters and the doctors and the hospital, they want to make your life more complicated. We don't need to pay for these things. You know, cave people didn't have money, and they still fed themselves. They still took shits in the forest, which we don't have to do anymore because we've already put all the work into creating a comfortable life. And there is no reason to have to go to a stupid job like working at McDonald's. You know, a stupid job. Putting frozen, like, rotten meat in a microwave and, like, giving it to people as food. Like, that's unnecessary. We don't need people, like, making $10 diabetes Starbucks coffee drinks. That's unnecessary. We don't need, like, 50 billion Victoria's Secret stores or Bath and Body Works stores all selling the same stupid baby prostitute perfume for $30. So my point is, I mean, we could have all these things anyways because all the work has already been done. You know, the factories have already been built. The recipes for creating these stupid consumer products have already been written down and recorded. So there is no need for, like, people going to these stupid minimum wage jobs, for example, or being a pencil pusher and working for the system, when the system should be working for us since we created this system and we are the only reason the system continues to run. You know, without the average person, without the minimum wage worker, without the competition for the corner office, this system fails. And, you know, if a system fails, then that means it's not a good system. It's not an efficient system. So, yeah, there are ways that we can have all the things we want without having to work like slaves. And that is the work that people should be investing their time and effort and energy in. figuring out how we can have all the things we want without being told that we have to have somebody as a boss or a manager, or have somebody in control of our general well-being via a paycheck or a salary or an hourly wage, because all of those things are just complicating the process of getting what we want. And it's just creating an extra obstacle into getting what we want. And for example, you can say, well, what about like teachers or doctors or people that are supposed to help us, or the police, or the firefighters that are supposed to protect us, that deserve a wage or whatever. Well, if you want to be a hero, then you should just do it out of the goodness out of your heart for free, like a volunteer. You know? If you want to go to school and get an education, that's something you should be able to choose to do. You know? Maybe you have to go to school when you're a little kid just so you can not be a complete Neanderthal or barbarian or a little retard. So you can learn how to socialize with people and learn social skills and figure out basic things that going to elementary school is useful for, that as a 30-year-old, all of the things I needed to really learn for a basic understanding to go through this world with a basic amount of intelligence, I learned up until, let's say, I was 13 years old. Everything else should just be easy, breezy, and beautiful, you know? Because the way life is right now, it is not enjoyable. It is not pleasant. There is no fun being had by basically everybody else who isn't Elon Musk or creeps like P. Diddy or the old geriatric losers in the government or the annoying clout chasers and influencers online. You know, it's just, the world is so gross. And it's really sad because it's all our own fault. All we have to do is, like, accept who we are and work smart, not hard, and apply ourselves in a healthy, coexistent, harmonious, non-combative, non-violent, and non-ignorant or hateful kind of way. And life can be really great. Or, you know, we can just go straight to World War III and nuclear apocalypse, which is also fine by me. You know, I could care less. I'm a product, not a person. So I really don't care. But I'm just posting this for everyone else's sake. That's all.